All right. We're going to talk about how the New Orleans Saints have some serious problems today. I'm going to start this off by saying I was a little way too hard on Jameis Winston last week. Of course, I'd be happier if we had Derek Carr, who we spent $30 bajillion on going forward. Not because I think he's the best quarterback in the league, but kind of want to see the Saints get their money's worth. I do want to say, after further analysis and me cooling down, this loss was not on Jameis Winston. I just needed somebody to blame. I made a big deal about the 5 straight punt situation, but looking back on it, this is way deeper than an issue at quarterback. It's an issue that we've been dealing with since the departure of Sean Payton, which hurts my soul, and that among other issues we're going to talk about today. Sorry if I turned any of you folks sour. I didn't know what to say after blowing a 17-0 lead. I was just pissed off and wanted to shoot the entire team. I just want to go ahead and clear it up. I was too hard on Jameis. It was not bro's fault. He did what he could. And after watching the film, it's very apparent that there was nothing he could do. Let's get into it. Pete Carmichael. That's a name you've been hearing since the dawn of time as a Saints fan. He's been around forever, but he shouldn't be around any longer. I honestly can't name many offensive coordinators in the league that are worse than Pete Carmichael right now. The Saints offense is so much worse than it should be, and it doesn't take a fucking mathematician to see that. Any competent play caller would have this Saints offense scoring an easy 25 points per game just off of the amount of weapons on the field alone. You have Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, good quarterbacks, a great running back room when it's healthy, and Taysom Hill, who has been extremely underutilized at this point in the season. I mean, you have a guy that can play quarterback, running back, fullback, wide receiver, tight end, offensive lineman, special teams, and he has basically no role in this offense at all. The Saints are putting up a measly, and I mean measly, 17.6 points per game. The defense is on an 11-game streak of holding teams to under 20 points per game, and we're only 6-5 in that stretch. How the fuck have you almost lost the amount of games you've won when your defense has been throwing you that humongous of a bone? We're putting up 17 points per game. Last year, we put up 19 points per game with Andy Dalton and Walmart wide receivers. How has the situation gotten worse since getting Michael Thomas back, signing Jamal Williams, and signing Derek Carr for $30 bajillion? It all comes down to Pete Carmichael. The plays we've been seeing lack so much creativity and fail to use our players to the best of their ability. It's like watching somebody play Madden using coaches' suggestions. It is the most cookie-cutter bullshit I have ever seen. There's no action. There's no little mischievous activity to try to deceive the other team. Everybody knows what's coming every time this team lines up offensively on the field. And I bet that is a huge point for coaches that are playing against us in their film rooms. They're like, bro, you see this shit? You see this? This is junior varsity high school level offensive play calling. Like, dude, when Jameis came in the last few drives, our wide receivers were literally running into each other. Like, literally running into each other. You'd think their shoes were tied together with how they were just running into each other, tripping over each other. Pete Carmichael, you are supposed to be coordinating the offense. In what way are intersecting routes and tripping coordinating the offense? Pete, I don't understand. There's absolutely no rhythm in this offense whatsoever. Pete Carmichael just looks at his play sheet and goes, yeah, man, you know what? That one kind of looks pretty all right. If he's actually trying to draw up consistent series with these plays working hand in hand and not flipping a coin for the plays he chooses, there is absolutely no hope for Pete Carmichael. I mean, like, look at this shit. Deep in our own territory, up 17-0. This is what Pete Carmichael draws up. An absolute brilliant series of plays. Run for nothing. Oh my God, that's my favorite. Run for loss, you know what? Actually, that might be even better. And 3rd and long, you guys wouldn't believe this one. A fucking slant 5 yards in front of the marker for the easiest punt, the easiest defensive stand that the Green Bay Packers have ever had. I just need to know why. Why are you such a bitch, Pete Carmichael? Why? Why are you such a bitch? Why are you up 17-0 and literally playing not to lose? You aren't playing to win. You're playing not to lose. You're playing for the opportunity to possibly, maybe win this game. I can't understand it. I need to know why. Pete Carmichael, at the end of the day, is a coward with zero creative ability that makes this offense look so much worse than it should. Dennis Allen needs to grow a pair of nuts and figure out how to get rid of this fucking bum who has been carried by Sean Payton, carried by Drew Brees his entire career, and has been leeching off this organization like he actually contributes to the cause, when in reality, he's our biggest fucking problem. Pete Carmichael is literally the reason the Saints are stuck in this loop of sucking. It's his fault. It's not the quarterback. It's not anyone. It's not the wide receivers. It's not the defense. It's Pete Carmichael. I watched this offense trot out there with Landon Young up against Rashawn Gary, who ended the game with 3 sacks, expecting to win. Pete, you are an absolute genius. This is a complete embarrassment to the team in every way, and I cannot stand to watch Pete Carmichael coordinate another offensive bout for this team, because holy shit, it is absolutely disgusting, and I cannot stand it anymore. The next problem we're going to talk about is the world famous Doug Marrone. In February 2002, the New Orleans Saints added Doug Marrone to the squad to be our offensive line coach. I'm going to be real. This motherfucker has tanked everything we knew about this offensive line. Sure, they were not the best last year, but they were 100% watchable and gave protection. The Saints' offensive line averaged 2.2 sacks per game last season, which is not great, but that's bearable. A quarterback will survive in a situation like that. Andy Dalton had much more time and was able to stay healthy. We are allowing four sacks. 4 sacks per game. 1 sack per quarter. What the fuck happened? What is Doug Marrone teaching this offensive line? I want to know. The amount of whiffs, the amount of miscommunications, the amount of just bullshit fuckery I've seen over the last 3 weeks has been unwatchable. They are the same players as last year. What happened? This is 100% a coaching issue. What the fuck is bro doing? I don't understand. Pardon my language. A few people have been getting on to me for that, but I can't. What am I supposed to say when I'm describing these 2 people that are literally tanking the New Orleans Saints organization? I can't help myself. It's unwatchable. The New Orleans Saints need to fix these 2 problems if they want to go anywhere. And I mean anywhere. If they want to go eat at their dining facility, these fucking problems need to be fixed, because we're not going anywhere until they are. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you stopping by. I just wanted to rant a little bit about that because I deflected the blame onto the wrong person last week, and I am willing to admit that. I will say, I mean, it's not the most amazing situation we're in, but it's definitely not losing. I mean, Jameis Winston is the best backup quarterback in the NFL by far. So we are prepared for this situation. But, you know, the tools that Jameis has, you know, the brains that are operating this operation are fucking stupid. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in that comment section below what you think about Doug Marrone and Pete Carmichael, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Adios. Fuck these. See you.